Good morning. I see that we're live.
Good morning. It's telling me we're not.
Oh, really? It says that we are. I'll check. I'll check.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're tapping, excited.
Let me just see. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Light the Torch Day for She Rises Studios, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman. I'm going to just pass the torch lighting ceremony to Nicole to start leading us while I check on our technical difficulties side.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us at She Rises Studios and the co-authors of Becoming an Unstoppable Woman in Finance, and book launched this morning. Woo! We are so excited to be able to be here and just share a little bit about who we are, where we come from, and a little bit about our chapter title and book. And so She Rises Studios is here to help educate, inspire, and lift women up in life and in business. And with the Becoming an Unstoppable Woman in Finance, it's book 4 out of the 6-book series, which is totally amazing. And we have 2 additional books that are going to be coming up as well. But before we kind of get into all of that, let's go ahead and introduce some of these beautiful ladies that you see here in front of you. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with Lauren. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, your chapter title, that would be amazing.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. My name is Lauren Weiss. I am the founder of Cycle Align. I am a business productivity specialist. I help women align their menstrual cycles with their business. And my chapter specifically is Women of Web3. It's all about DeFi or decentralized finances and cryptocurrency, and really what Web3 is about. And I am so excited to talk about it. So back to you.
Yay! Thanks so much, Lauren. Rebecca, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Great, thanks. I'm Rebecca Chandler. I own Holistic Finance in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a licensed financial guide and investor. I build passive income pipelines for women and their loved ones. My chapter is titled How to Overcome Everything. I can easily encourage readers to devour the book, as it's a compilation of writers who share stories about story after story of triumph through adversity. I know our goal is to empower women to make great financial choices to yield the strongest financial futures for themselves and their loved ones. I was an elementary school teacher and a museum education director in my early career, and I found my work in finance when my husband's healthcare practice hit a multi-year financial downstreak, and I was introduced to our company, and it has turned our life around. It has been absolutely phenomenal to learn not only the basic principles of finance and good personal finance, but also to help others in this work as well. And we've got 19-year-olds coming into our work who are making 6 figures within a year. And I haven't been 19 for a really, really long time. But that kind of speed in blowing up your income is replicable at any age. So read our book. It's it's full of fantastic financial information, and then go out and make a difference with all that money you're making.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. Appreciate you, darling. Julie.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. My chapter is called After the Ashes. I was in higher education running several financial aid departments for various big institutions. And my world just came crashing down on me, and I had to make a change. My chapter basically talks about what I went through and the importance of making sure that you're properly protected, making sure that you have everything buttoned down, making sure the final details are taken care of, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for you and your family. And unfortunately, I was an example of that. And I use those tools and resources to help other people every single day not go through what I did, and to hold their hand through the process.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Martina.
Hi there. I'm Martina Kwan. I'm an international best-selling author, a 3-time champion race car driver, and a mindset and confidence coach. And I help women 35 plus get rid of their self-doubts and fears, remember who they are, and live a life of honesty and integrity. And my chapter is it's called Orchestrating a Divorce Without Financial Disaster. And I'm really happy to share this because I went through my own divorce in 2017, and a lot of women sort of give up their careers, become housewives, become moms, and they don't take care of the finances. So before the divorce conversation is initiated, I suggest and really explain in very easy terms what to look for: assets, liabilities, income, expenses, sort of to come to the table, the divorce discussion table, with a full knowledge of your financial situation. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm so proud to be on the She Rises Studios, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman in Finance team. Thank you.
Love it. Thanks, darling.
Thank you.
Laura Lee.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Lee Kenny from Minto, New Brunswick, Canada. And like many other women that grew up in the tail end of the baby boomers, not many people grew up with money. It was certainly a different type of life. I grew up in a family of 12 children in addition. So I know what it was like to live in a family that barely squeaked by. And I knew one thing, that just because you're a good person doesn't mean you're automatically going to have money. So I wanted to learn some ways to make money besides working so hard. I worked 3 jobs when I went to high school. Like, that's not normal for a young kid to enjoy high school. Anyway, I've had the pleasure for the last 25 years to teach, to be a financial planner for people and protect their assets. And I specialized in retirement planning. And last year I decided that I would like to teach younger people financial literacy and help show them how easy it is to set their life up to a new, different life, and teach them about positive mindset, goal setting done correctly, not just fly in the sky and say, oh, everything will work out. Show them some practical tips to really making a difference in their lives and the lives of future generations. I'm so blessed to be here. I'm so honored that Hannah and Adriana have come together to do this organization of She Rises. You ladies rock.
Thank you.
They are awesome. Thank you, Laura Lee. Nicole Weaver. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why don't
Happy
you-
launch day.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from, and then the title of your chapter.
Yeah. So my name is Nicole Weaver. I'm an intuitive financial coach. I currently live in Columbia, South Carolina, but I'm a military spouse, so I'm from everywhere. So my chapter is entitled Trust Yourself, Enjoy the Journey, which has been my tagline for the majority of my business. I am passionate about seeing women make peace with money, which I know Laura Lee kind of mentioned. There's a lot of trauma around money. So I want to see women make peace with money, trust themselves to make financial decisions, and actually enjoy the journey along the way. And a lot of that comes from my own journey of paying off about $85,000 in debt and realizing that there had to be a way where it could actually be fun and we could actually enjoy it and we could actually feel good about it and not feel like debt payoff or finances were a burden. And so I developed my own framework of intuitive money management to give you that really strategy of how to make it feel good and how to actually enjoy your money. And that's one of my biggest passions. And something I love about this book and the way this is put together is it allows people to get so many different perspectives and so many different views on what you can do with money, ways to think about money, because it's so important that your money journey is yours. And so you get to take the pieces from everybody and hear all the different stories and hear all the different perspectives and figure out what feels good to you. And that's my biggest passion anyway. So I absolutely love this. And I'm so excited to see what people get out of it.
Love it. Thanks so much for sharing, Nicole. Appreciate you. Heather Benton, how are you?
Great. How are you doing, Miss Nicole?
Good morning.
Good morning. From Florida, just before the hurricane. This is what it looks like.
Well, why don't you go ahead, honey, and introduce yourself and where you're from? Obviously, with the hurricane, that's kind of gives an idea.
So, my name is Heather Stokes Benton, and I am from Tampa, Florida, and I run a company called Financial GPS. And I also partnered with She Rise Studios about a year ago, and I just love being here. I love empowering women to understand their worth, and that's exactly what this book does on so many levels. Not just our financial worth, but our inner worth, our self-worth, and understanding that we have a right to have a voice, and especially in our finances. And for so long, women have put our finances on the back burner, allowed other people to be more important. You know, we think about our children, we think about our husbands, we think about everybody else. And so my chapter is building your legacy, but the first half of it really talks about taking that active role in your financial world, taking it off the back burner, and being part of your financial plan and not allowing it to run you. And then learning how to implement that. How do we then include our families and our children and really build a legacy and generational wealth? And what does that look like? And understanding it's attainable. Because so many times people think like it's such an unattainable, it seems like such a big goal that we forget to even take the steps. You know, we just put it off. But how we can take small attainable steps to really reach goals that we didn't think were possible. And that's something that I had to do in my life when, you know, I had to rebuild after my husband having pancreatic cancer and us nearly losing everything and having to get creative with money. And that's how I ended up in the financial world. Like Rebecca said, I didn't start here. Like a lot of us, I didn't start here. I have several degrees in other things that I don't even use anymore, but they helped design me to be who I am today and to help others. And I just love it. And I love this book. And like Nicole said, Weaver was saying, is there's so many different perspectives in here, and so many different journeys and stories of women just persevering and going from, you know, survival mode to thriving, and real examples of how other women can do that. So I think it's going to be a game changer, a complete game changer, just financial wealth, financial understanding, and then just really being able to have real life examples of how to step into that, you know, inner peace and wealth. So I'm going to kick it off to somebody else. How about Priya? I can't wait to hear from Miss Priya. It's been a while. How are you? Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
The show's 50 is amazing.
Thank you so much. Good morning from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. So good to see all of you and to meet some of you who I've not got a chance to meet yet. But I'm so excited to be a part of this project. It's a little bit outside of my area. I'm a third generation intuitive, and my money journey has been very different. My chapter is called How Does It Feel to Be a Millionaire? And one of the things I think for me that was important to be included in this project is for women to know that money gives you choice, and having that plan with your money and knowing how to use it really gives us choice in the world. I've come just turning 50, have come off the tail end of a generation where we had to be taken care of by a man. I come from a culture where that was very much enforced as a mindset. And so being able to bust that myth and bust that reality, make my own money and have that freedom we find ourselves in life, both men and women, in different situations, and having the resources to be able to, whether it be our health, whether it be a disaster in our home or a loved one, being able to be there for people is truly empowering. And having that spiritual background, I was told for a long time, oh, well, you're a spiritualist, you shouldn't need money, you should do your work for free. And I had to let people know that the hydro company did not accept love and light for the light bill, that they wanted actual money for that. So I too needed the physical resources to live my life and to be able to share with others. There's so much beyond, attaining wealth and building a huge bank account, but you can do so many things to help others with it as well. So whatever your goals are, there's nothing wrong with keep building and building. And that's what I wanted to share in my chapter, but also being able to step into that version of yourself that is an abundant version of you. That's something that I work with people on, and I had to work on myself with, is to be able to step into that zone of owning it, that I can be abundant and I can have those resources and I can confidently walk with that. I came from a family who taught me not to save for a rainy day, but as though we were always living in a rainy tsunami and always had to be so worried about money, and to break that mindset of scarcity and really flip over to an abundance mindset. That changed my life, and I know it has changed the life of my children, and I don't want them yet, but my grandbabies that will come one day, it will change their lives and all the generations to come, because we set those tones. And it is about, now we're talking about generational wealth building, not just for ourselves anymore. We're past that mode for a lot of us where we just need it for us. So this has been an awesome project. When Nicole approached me about being in it, I was like, well, I'm not a finance girl, Nicole. And she's like, you still have something valuable to share. So I'm so pleased that she pushed me to do this, because I do think that it will help people, because I work in the spiritual community a lot, and I want people to know that they need those resources for their lives, and women to know this. So thank you, Hannah and Adriana, as always, and the rest of the team. This has been such a ride. For those of you who are new here, buckle up for some fun, because it's been amazing. So thank you.
Thank you, Priya. So let's go with Jennifer Carnes.
Oh, I think you're muted, Jennifer.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yay. We love tech. Yes, I'm Jennifer. So I am based in Belfast in Northern Ireland. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. Sort of like Priya, initially I was kind of like, what is going to be my take on this? I wasn't overly sure. And then I realized that, from our experience, and a lot of what I talk about is, from sort of lived experiences. For those of you that don't know me, I run the Lady Rebel Club movement and Rebel World, and we're all about sort of elevating and empowering women entrepreneurs and small business owners who are neurodivergent or who have disabilities. And I know myself and a lot of women in general, but especially within our community, we've had a lot of trauma, we've had a lot of things that we've gone through, and a lot of us hide from money and don't, especially when you're starting your business, we don't like to look at it. We don't want to look at the numbers because, they're not always that positive, and we're paying out more than, we're getting in when we first start, and all of these kinds of things. And it was only really when I, genuinely decided, right, okay, I have to look at the numbers. We have to track the data. We have to be aware of what's going on. And I started to really focus on building a thriving ecosystem, which is the name of my chapter. It's all about excellent ecosystems that we create. Is when, I really got to grips with all of it, and it made a huge difference in our business. And I know for a lot of other women out there who hide from the numbers, whether it's the data or the finance end, that's kind of the approach that I take from with my chapter, is that money also is not the root of all evil. And I know a couple of other people have touched on that as well. And again, for a lot of us who've maybe had different traumas or different things that we've gone through our lives in whatever, shape or form, there is a lot of that around money. So it's kind of realizing that it's not the root of all evil. We can do really awesome things when we have money, right? So it's more what we do with it, not with the money itself. So that's kind of our approach, or my approach that I took with the chapter. And yeah, just really chuffed to be here. This is actually my 4th book. I've been in the whole series. So I'm really excited to see kind of what, I guess, targets or goals or records. I think we've set a few huge records already with some of the other books that we smashed with this one. So really excited to be part of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Jen. So,
Hi, lovely.
Hey, beautiful Nicole.
Let's go to Rebecca Chandler.
Well, hi again. I'll read a brief little passage from my chapter, if that's all right. We can overcome the unthinkable. My chapter is called You Can Overcome Everything. And so I wrote a little bit about we can overcome the unthinkable, horrifying, painful moments of our lives when we know a fundamental truth that I talk about in my chapter. And from that truth stems the purpose for all the trials and the pains in our lives. And from that truth comes understanding of why things happen, when they happen, and how they happen for us. And from that truth yields the ability to overcome anything and to become whole. We are the good women of the world. We're situated with power like no other time in history, and for the protection of all that is good and beautiful and powerful. And we'll have more impact now than at any other time in history. Children and families look to us for protection. Our communities look to us for protection, and we are strengthened to lead and save thousands who might otherwise fall to misinformation, mishandling, impoverishment of the mind and of the heart. And that's what our wealth is for. I look forward to sharing more and more as this book goes around the world.
Thank you, Rebecca. So I want to hear from Annette.
Good morning, everybody. I am Annette J. Morris. I am the CEO of a company called Goal Getter LLC. And at Goal Getter LLC, we help women to identify their divine God-given gifts and convert their gift into a 5 to 7 figure income generating business that supports their lives and their legacies. My contribution to this book was pretty much based on helping you to convert passion to profit and identifying multiple streams of revenue with this, with your passion-based business or with your purpose in life. I kind of stemmed from, I heard a lot of the ladies talking about they have different degrees and different backgrounds. I'm the same way. I came into the entrepreneurship space. Initially, I was a mental health therapist. So I have both of my degrees are in human services, in psychology and in mental health counseling. But I came to the realization one day, at the time I was a single mother, and typically as a therapist, I was making $40,000 a year with two degrees, right? So I was just like, this salary is not in alignment with the dream life that I had for my kids. And I can't see me doing this another 40 years, right? So me empowering other people and, going out and helping them to lead normal lives and all this other stuff, and then coming at home trying to figure out how I'm going to make $1 out of 15 cents. That just wasn't matching up for me, right? It just didn't give me the life that I wanted to. It wasn't in alignment with the life I wanted to live. It wasn't in alignment with the legacy that I wanted to leave my kids. I love luxury things. I love to create luxury experiences for other women. That salary wasn't matching up to any of that, right? And so I had to figure out how to diversify my knowledge so that I can either sell the knowledge or create products based on that. And then the people that I'm passionate about, right? So it was only natural for me to cater to women. Why? Because I'm a woman, right? And then I was a mom. So I love working with moms and with females, just kind of teaching them how to, in other words, diversify the revenue and based on what they're passionate about, right? Because I wake up doing something that I'm passionate about and love absolutely every day. So it doesn't feel like work, right? And so I just want to give women that same ease, right? So because we have so much going on in life, we have to take care of this and do this and nurture this and all the things. I feel like we should be able to do all of that in ease and generate limitless revenue as a result of doing what we absolutely love and are called here in purpose to do. And that's what I shared in that. This is actually, being a part of this book is so exciting because I get to partner with other women that are like-minded, that are just as passionate about women as I am. Actually, this is my 12th book. So I wrote, my second book was called Live Free, Create the Streams to Live Your Dreams in 2015. So I talked about multiple streams of revenue in that book as well. But I've learned so much more from 2015 to today that I kind of added as a contribution to this book. So I was excited when Nicole contacted me, when Heather reached out, and that they were like, hey, I think you should be a part of this book. I'm like, hey, this is totally in alignment with what I want to do. Like, because initially, you know, Heather, I was like, I'm not a finance person though. And then I was like, wait, I do have a contribution. So I'm glad that you all convinced me to be a part of this book. I love everything about it, and I'm just excited about the journey.
Well, thank
And
you.
we're glad you're here, Annette, because you're amazing. And I'm so glad you agreed to do it, because
thank you.
I know it's going to change lives. And you're so right. Like, I know, because like you, I came from mental health and being a social worker and changing other people's lives in an amazing way, and coming home going, why am I struggling and working so many hours?
So I thought maybe we could take a few minutes and hear from our public relations expert for She Rises Studios, which is Renee Powell. Do you want to share a few words?
Oh, sure. Well, nice to meet all of you. Some of you I met in New York. I'm very impressed with the different stories that you brought to the table for the book. I think it's really, I think it's going to be very interesting to the reader, because I think that people's relationships with money are very different from person to person. And I think you guys have all brought a really interesting perspective to the table. And it's funny, one of you is in fintech, which I didn't know, which is sort of an interesting thing. And all of you have brought some sort of interesting angle about money, which I think is pretty marketable in the media, whether it be in articles or television or radio or podcasts. And so you all bring a really interesting perspective. So I'm very, very honored to meet all of you.
Well, thank you, Renee. So Renee is the one who really helps get this book out there, and aesthetically has us looking amazing at all times. She is just an incredible force. So thank you for joining us. I'm gonna rotate some of the ladies out so that other ladies can rotate in.
Hey, lovely. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, beautiful?
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Miss Nicole. How's everyone? My name is Lovely Laguerre. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm the founder and owner of Pure Heavenly Hair Boutique, and I've been a part of the She Rises since the beginning, since the birth of it. So it's been a journey, and this is our fourth book. So being a part of this book means a lot, because I'm in the finance world with a lot of gurus when it comes to the commercial real estate. So back in my early days, I've been into the business, being doing loans. That was my first journey as being a part of the financial business. So that was something that I really like, it instills in me as, helping others, how to build their credit and how to fix everything, how to keep their personal lives and business together to separate the two when it comes to, building their, their legacy and journey of making their dream a reality, buying their homes. So I have to teach them how to, build it and secure their debt, and how to save and being up, and to make their dream a bigger, reality. So that was my big deal coming into this. So it took me a long time to find to build my own empire as a businesswoman since 25 years old. So this aligned with me so well. And I speak in my book about how to how to control your finance and in debt. So therefore, how to, you can manage your finances by, consolidating it, paying your debt early, or, paying off the interest of your credit card early. So I talk about that very entails in my book, and how to have a business, a scarcity mindset versus a very positive mindset. So there's a lot of what I discuss methods, little tips in there. So I want the viewers to learn that there's so many ways you can have, abundance life when it comes to financial. If you can control your personal life and your business, you can have an abundant life. And that's what I want to, share to the viewers out there. Hopefully they find, great tips in there, because I know other women have amazing stories to share. So I'm very elated to be a part of this book. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lovely. So, today is a special day for many reasons, and one of them is that becoming an unstoppable woman in finance was created for 3 reasons. Number 1, we at She Rises really wanted to see women elevate and become financially fit. But more importantly than that, we wanted them to understand the fundamentals of what that means. So the third reason is we believed when we were creating the book and selecting the authors in this process that each one had a different form of knowledge to offer. Some spoke from the heart, some spoke from an analytical stand view, some spoke from a personal journey, and it's a combination of all of that and more. And it's just gotten a really great response. You know, we hit bestseller in 11 different categories just in pre-sales, which is huge, and it's continuing to climb. I just got new stats, but before I can release them, I have to double check them. So, you know, when Adriana and I formed She Rises Studios, it was to make sure that we had a safe space and an arena for women who could collaborate and not compete. And the reality is, not all women will do that, and not all women will see that vision, and that's okay. You know, the moral of the story is those who don't, hopefully later they'll catch up and want to be a part of something amazing. My personal take and what I do inside She Rises is I work on the marketing, the branding, the PR side with Renee. And I also really love creating the titles of the books. I love writing in the book as an author, but I really like to create the premise of the book, what the mantra of the book is. And I know from just doing the research that we've done how desperately needed something like this was. And we did beat our book 1, book 2, and book 3 in terms of categories just in pre-sales. And that's very exciting news, because what that tells me is again, we're onto something. And I'm so proud of each of the women who truly have collaborated, who have truly shown up at every single author's call, who have truly been a part of the journey of becoming an unstoppable woman in finance, who have truly worked with their co-authors, who have done the most of the most and made the most of this journey. And lighting that torch today at 5 a.m. is really an exciting but not easy task, because trying to collaborate 29 women to get on a screen together is difficult. We're talking to women from different time zones all over the world. And so for those of you who took the time to join us and be a part of this, thank you very much for doing that, because it's an incredible feeling to see something that we worked so hard to put together come to fruition. And lastly, this book was published by She Rises Studios. This is our very first book published under She Rises Studios Publishing. And I will just tell you, it is the most amazing feeling in the whole wide world to know that 2 girls who didn't know anything were able to create something so incredible that has gone global, and then turn She Rises Studios into an actual publishing firm for women entrepreneurs, or for women who want to share their story. And we have such an incredible team of women who embrace the new women who are coming along. We have such an incredible team for public relations, for all of it. And it just, I believe that the stars have finally aligned. And I'm so honored to be a part of this Light the Torch. And I'm honored to be a 6-time international bestseller. And, you know, we could go on and on and on, but I want to share with our audience, you can find this book today on Amazon for less than $1. In the ebook version, it's 99 cents. You can buy it, you can buy in bulk and gift it to people who you really feel could benefit from this book. This book is powerful, and we're on the radar for a lot of things for this book. So the more people who get involved, who support these women who are authors in this book, in other words, each author has a network, and each author should be able to go into that network and say, hey, I did this, and now I need you to support me and spend that 99 cents to get the book. And not only that, but in 10 days, we're going to be doing our New York Times bestseller campaign. And that's huge. Those are huge accomplishments, ladies. And I'm just so very, very proud of each one of you. And I'm excited for our readers to continue to get their hands on this. For those who did the pre-sale, pre-order, you should have the book in hand by now. So start reading those chapters, start putting some reviews up on Amazon, and let's keep the ball rolling. So I'm going to pass the torch back to Heather, and then I'm going to rotate some of the girls back in.
Good morning again, everyone. Thank you so much to Hannah and Adriana. I mean, there are some amazing leaders. I am so grateful that they asked me to come be a part of She Rise last October. I can't believe it's almost been a year, and it's been so much fun. And it's just love working with some of these amazing women. And like she said, from all over the world, I mean, it amazes me every day that I talk to women in Australia, that I talk to women in Spain, that I talk to women, in England. Jennifer's across the pond over in Ireland, just being able to collaborate with people that I didn't even know would be part of my life, and how amazing that is. And the fact that we can come together and really put that collaboration over competition aside, because so many of us in this book do work within the same realm. We're not all exactly from the financial world, like Priya said, but a lot of us have happened into it either because we do work with people and guide them in a financial way, because really that's part of our wellness. We have a health and wellness book coming out in December. And I know some of us are going to approach that topic too there. If you are not in line with your finances, it will keep you up at night. Okay. It will affect your mental health and your well-being. Nicole touched on this. Nicole Weaver touched on this, and making your dreams come true. Like Annette was saying, you can really, just because it may seem like, oh, this is just a dream, you can do those things, right? And that's business's goal setter, go-getters, be that go-getter, be that goal setter, and really reach for it and use this book as a tool. Use it not just as inspiration, but as literally a guide to how you can have better financial wealth and health. And reach out to us. That's the whole point of us doing this collaborative, book. That's the whole reason our contact information is in there, is because we're willing to help you on your journey. Right. So when you're reading the book, and like Hannah said, you can get it for 99 cents today, less than $1. You can log on to Amazon and purchase this book and start getting some financial education, start getting some knowledge from all these amazing women that have walked through what you might be trying to walk through right now, that can give you real life examples and let you know it's okay that you don't have all the answers right now. What's not okay is not being willing to get the answers. And that's what I say to my clients all the time, is you have to be willing to have a very, difficult conversation. Sometimes people don't want to admit they don't know what to do with their money, or that they don't even know what their money is doing, right? So a lot of times we work and we make money, but we're not taught what to do with the money, right? And we sit back and we're like, well, I have a 401k at work. They're taking care of it. You honestly think your work is taking care of your best interest? Probably not. They have a plan. It's a 401k, and they're doing what's best for their pocket as far as their group plan. So their thought is the group plan, the mass, their thought is not you as an individual. So you need to take that active role in your 401k. You need to take that active role in having other streams of income. And I know that all these stories are going to touch on some of that. But to be honest, one of the biggest rules that I like to teach my clients is if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to have millions by retirement, the reality is you have to have multiple streams of income. In other words, you have to understand what are other ways I can make money while I sleep. Because once you start making money while you're sleeping, you're onto something for sure. So I am going to kick it back off to Nicole Weaver.
Hey, before you do that though, I just got an update on so before the book launched, we were already in 11 categories as bestseller. We're now international bestsellers in Canada. We're number 2 in entrepreneurship. We're number 4 in motivational management. Number 4 in motivational management and leadership. So whoever's doing Canada and rocking it, congratulations.
Woo! Welcome to
So
international bestseller.
Yep.
Nicole Weaver.
So now that means that we are in 11, 12, 13, 14 categories.
That's exciting.
As bestseller. So congratulations.
How does it feel, Nicole? This is her first book with us. Just
it's exciting.
Rebecca, you're international bestsellers.
And we're
Did you
still
ever
on
think
the
that was possible?
Anything's possible, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Hannah, may I jump in for a quick second? Or
Yeah, she's off. Go ahead, Renee.
Rotate it out. Go ahead, kick it off,
Oh,
Renee.
Sorry. Well, I wanted to make sure that everyone remembers the impact that you're having, because I mean, every other day I meet a woman or two in my travels or wherever I am who has had some dramatic life change happen to them, whether it be a husband that passed away from an illness unexpectedly, or that they were in a divorce situation, or a job change, something disrupted their picture perfect life. And I think when you write a book like this, you really have a lot of impact, because a lot of these women that I come into contact with are educated, they're accomplished. Maybe they got out of the workforce to raise their family and take care of the home front. And a lot of them, believe it or not, no matter how educated or accomplished they are, they don't necessarily understand or know the financial picture of the family. And so what often happens is they are like a deer in headlights when a big transformation happens at home, or a big life change happens, and they don't really know how to pivot. They don't know how to pick it all up and dust themselves off and move on and create, because we weren't, as Priya mentioned, culturally in her family, the money was about scarcity. And I could share stories about the way I was raised, where it was all about the Great Depression and you have to finish all your food, and no one ever talked about investing money in certain things. But I watched my grandmother do that, and I watched her buy real estate. And I learned at a very young age that real estate was really important, because you always have a roof over your head that way. So I think I just want you all to be very mindful of the fact of the great impact you're having globally to women, for women, because I think sometimes that can get lost a little bit. But there are millions, when I say millions, of women out there who really don't understand finance, because someone else did it and they just lived their happy life, and when they had a big life change, they had to learn it eventually. So I think a book like this one is very impactful, because there are lots of different stories in it that I'm sure one woman might find one chapter very applicable, and another one finds another one that they can relate to. So just always be mindful of the impact, because impact is a bucket list from the United Nations about having impact in the world, and this is one of the ways that you do that. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Adriana, welcome to your torch lighting book release. I'm
Hi,
so
ladies.
glad to join us.
Yeah, I had to work on some stuff on the back end, but I saw your message. She's like, keep them coming. She's like, keep those categories pumping. But yeah, so awesome, ladies. Congratulations. We're international bestsellers. Obviously, we're going to keep doing our best to push out more and more in different countries. So keep on sharing the book. Keep sharing it with your friends, your family, whatever country you're in. It's available on Amazon for ebook. I know you know that already, but let's keep getting out there, getting the name out there, the word out there, because individuals need to know about this book. Companies need to know about this book. I don't even know if that was mentioned yet, but there's so much to learn from this, more than just the individual aspect of it that you can start implementing now, but also just gain that inspiration from, so that way it gets that mindset turning. And maybe there's something that's just not been clicking within your business or within your company, that after you read this, it might just help you. So there's so many roadblocks that we don't even know happen sometimes, that once we expand our minds and read some new books and materials, that it just opens a whole new world. So congratulations again. This is exciting. I can't wait for us to keep pushing the breaking the barrier. So never give up on your dreams, and keep pursuing everything that's in your heart. That's good.
Woo. Where can they find this book?
Well, on Amazon. It's on Amazon right now. It's gonna be eventually distributed for paperback on Barnes and Noble. It's gonna eventually be on Target, Walmart, Barnes. Did I already say Barnes and Noble? Goodreads, all the online major retailers. So it'll be available everywhere on October 11th. But as of right now, we're just doing ebook. If you do see the paperback, that one's not available right now. So I apologize. We're working on the kink right now, but just ebook right now.
Woohoo! Thank you. So I think we're safe to wrap it up. I think we've all had our moment to shine. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to introduce myself. I'm Nicole Curtis, and I'm I live in Rosebud, Missouri, and my chapter is called How to Heal Your Money Wounds. And just a little short over of what that implies is I grew up in a household that had a broke mindset. And I say that meaning they just weren't educated. Their parents didn't educate them about wealth, finances. And so I grew up where you have to work really hard, but 10 times over compared to the person sitting next to you. And with that mindset growing up, I worked harder and not smarter. And so my chapter is dedicated to my parents with that, but it's all about how I had to make my money mindset shift as I grew older and as I got into business as in the entrepreneurial world. So I'm so excited to be here. Hannah and Adriana, you ladies are amazing. Heather, you're phenomenal. All of you beautiful co-authors. Renee, you're amazing too. And yeah, so congratulations, international bestsellers. Way to go, ladies. It's the impact. And I just really want to celebrate Hannah and Adriana and the thought-provoking, intuitive women leaders that they are, and the dream that they've had, and they just went with it, and what they've created and established for all of us to be here is such a blessing. So thank you for all that you do, and the hard work, the sacrifice, your love, and your support. And let's go, ladies. Fire up.
I have a question for Adriana, since she can't escape the video. How many times have you been terrified through this whole process?
I mean, it still happens right now, so it's an ongoing process. But it's okay, because I guess I'm kind of used to being in that area. I've grown to understand that it's okay to be afraid as long as you're not giving up. So I mean, it's always going to happen. Everyone has it in their lives, but I know when it's really intense, when I can feel like it's almost like a form of anxiety, like you can feel it crawling under your skin. But you just got to push through and kind of remember why you're doing what you're doing and who you're going to help and impact. And then it makes it worth it again. And then you start to calm down and know that no, whatever problem there is, there's a solution for it. So when you grow that comfort within yourself to know that you can figure it out, it kind of dissipates. So I don't let it bother me long term. It's just in the moment it happens, but you can always get over it. Push through.
Well, congratulations to you, Nicole, Heather. Thank you to the She Rises team for making it another amazing bestseller. And thank you to all the co-authors for writing extraordinary chapters. And let's make today book sale day and keep climbing in these categories and countries. And let's keep going, keeping that collaborative mind open. And congratulations to all of you ladies. I hope you all get to go back to sleep for an hour and get some rest or have a great cup of coffee. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Hey.
Woohoo.